They say the deeper your V-neck is, the manlier you are. I don't know. I just made that up. This past Sunday was one of the greatest NFL Sundays that I've ever experienced in my whole life. If you missed out on it, you missed out on history. But don't sweat it, because my name is Hassan Khan and I'm going to fill you in on everything that happened. Dubbed as Survival Sunday, because 29 of 32 teams were still alive in the playoff race. That number dropped dramatically, and 7 teams have been eliminated since then. Baltimore Ravens quarterback Joe Flacco threw for 3 interceptions to only 1 touchdown in that game versus the Vikings in the first 58 minutes. In the last 2 minutes, however, both teams went back and forth, scoring touchdown after touchdown. There were 5 lead changes just within that time span, and he threw for 2 touchdowns within those 2 minutes. His most important touchdown, however, was to the back of the end zone to wide receiver Marlon Brown, with 10 seconds remaining, a game-winning touchdown, leading the Ravens to a victory over the Vikings 29-26. And that's why he is the hungriest player of the week. Random moment of the week. Now, Carolina Panthers wide receiver Steve Smith is known for saying some controversial things, but it's pretty funny. This first one is from when the Panthers faced the Rams earlier this year and cornerback Janoris Jenkins was guarding him. Let's just see what he had to say about that.
There's a young guy come in who obviously his first time ever using the internet and Google. And he Googles information about me, talks about my wife and stuff like that. And that's kind of some of the shit I just don't play with. So he can take it back to St. Louis and watch the film, because I don't play them games. And if I see him in the street, I'm gonna bust him in his mouth.
Ha! Google, he takes crap from no one. Hey, how about this? After fixing the Patriots at home, this is what he had to say about Aqib Talib.
What happened on the touchdown?
Poor tackling.
What happened between you and Talib on the field early in the game?
I don't know. You gonna ask him, because he done finished the game. Ice up, son. Ice up.
Just him saying that phrase, ice up son, created a whole social media frenzy that they make t-shirts about it too. Sanders, can we get the picture of Steve Smith? There you go. Now the thing with Steve Smith is that he doesn't start any of this. People start things with him, people start crap with him, and just because of his fiery personality, he does take things a little too far. He makes things a little too controversial. But the thing is, he can back it up. What a great wide receiver. Steve Smith, I love you. Keep it up. Top 3 games of the week. The Chargers and Broncos kick it off in Mile High. Now the Chargers are 6-7 and 1 game behind the Dolphins and the Ravens to get that 6th seed and final spot in the AFC playoff race. The Broncos, however, can clinch a first-round bye if they win this game. Classic AFC East rivalry, New England versus Miami. Now, the Dolphins are tied with the Ravens at 7-6, but the Ravens have the 6th and final spot in the playoff race currently because of tiebreakers, conference records, and whatnot. Dolphins need to win this game to stay pace with them. The Patriots, on the other hand, are 10-3 and are a good spot to get the first round bye. However, if they were to lose this game and the Bengals were to win, because the Bengals beat the Patriots earlier in the year, the Bengals would all of a sudden be in a good position to win a first round bye, so the Patriots cannot afford to slip. I noticed that I talk about Detroit a lot in these top 3 games of the week. Well, that's because they have a harder schedule, they face some pretty tough opponents, and this week isn't going to be any easier when they host the Baltimore Ravens at Ford Field. Now both teams are 7-6. The Lions hold the lead for the NFC North with the Chicago Bears, and they're only a half a game ahead of the Green Bay Packers, so they cannot afford to lose this game. The Ravens, on the other hand, are 7-6 and hold the 6th and final spot currently in the AFC playoff race. But if they win this game and they hope and pray that the Bengals lose, they'll be 1 game behind them for the AFC North lead. 7-6 in my upset picks this year, and this week I'm choosing the Tennessee Titans to upset the Arizona Cardinals. Now, despite how hot Carson Palmer has been in the recent weeks or how good the Arizona defense is, the Tennessee Titans have the potential to play really well, and they've proved it too this season. They just don't get a lot of national attention. They let games slip by, and I believe personally that the Titans defense, which is actually a pretty good defense, is going to contain Carson Palmer and Andre Ellington in that run game. Also, never count out Ryan Fitzpatrick. He has the potential to play really well. And Chris Johnson, who started out not so good in the beginning, like he always does, has been hot in recent weeks. So I believe the Titans are going to beat the Cardinals. This week on the Wrath of Khan, let's talk about tanking, meaning teams losing on purpose in order to get a better draft pick. Now, I'm going to try to relate to you personally. I'm a huge Atlanta Falcons fan. Been living in Georgia for almost my whole life. This year, we're not doing so hot. Actually, the exact opposite of hot. We're not living up to expectations. But never do I want the Falcons to lose on purpose. Think about it. You're cheering your team to lose. Don't fans want their team to win every single game regardless? We saw this 2 years ago, in 2011, in a campaign called Suck for Luck. Now, I don't want my team to lose on purpose. I don't want the Falcons to lose so that we can get clowny. And it's because of one person too. Tony Gonzalez. See, I feel bad already about it. He's been playing for 17 years. And last year was the first time that he's won a playoff game. Went to the NFC Championship game. Was 10 yards away from going to the Super Bowl. That would have been a high note to end his career on. However, we convinced them, we said, hey, you can make the Super Bowl next year. We will do everything in our power to get you to the Super Bowl. As we all know, they didn't live up to expectations. So I feel bad already. And I don't want my team to lose these last 3 games, especially Week 17, when they're at the Georgia Dome and they face the Carolina Panthers. Tony Gonzalez's last game of his entire career. We want to end out on a high note. So the idea, the theory of tanking, just not a fan of it. That's all I got planned for this week. Hope you guys had a great time. Don't forget to like this video, leave a comment, subscribe to this channel. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter at @It'sHassanKhan. Use the hashtag #TimeOfFootball. If there's anything, any question you want to be answered, any phrase you want me to say on the show, just tweet it to me. I'll 100% promise to reply, and I'll say it on this show. And remember, this is the place to go for your NFL news, content, entertainment, innuendos, and feature football pleasure. I'm here to deliver the best and happy NFL since Randy Moss got 17 touchdown passes his rookie year. I have ambitions of being an NFL broadcaster and /or analyst, telling you too can pursue your passions if you just stay hungry.